Others also just join now. Okay, fine. Okay, shall we continue?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Can you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay, fine. So in our last class we have seen this aspect ratio for elliptical wing and all. And what is aspect ratio? We all know aspect ratio is equal to b square by s. That is equal to b square by s. Okay. Now in this session what we are going to see is how this aspect ratio is related to the lift curve slope for infinite wing and finite wing. How it is interconnected. Okay. So what is the formula for this lift curve slope for a finite wing by using this aspect ratio? That way we will see. Okay. So we know this last class itself we have discussed that when the aspect ratio increases, induced drag decreases. The same opposite will happen. And also we know the aspect ratio is the square of lift coefficient. So we can so it is an important factor for the CL for finding CL also. So here we have two types of wing. One is the infinite wing and another one is the finite wing. And in infinite wing the lift curve slope is a naught, but for a finite wing the lift curve slope is a. Okay. So here we have we can see here dCl by d alpha equal to a naught. So here in infinite wing we will be calculating this alpha effective. So alpha effective will be alpha minus alpha I, that is geometrical angle of attack minus induced angle of attack. So therefore dCl divided by d of alpha minus alpha I equal to a naught. So that is a naught equal to the lift curve slope for infinite wing will be this one. So from this CL equal to a naught into this things and all we have learned from this thin airfoil theory. Okay. So CL equal to a naught into alpha minus alpha or a naught into alpha effective plus constant. Okay. So here for alpha pi AR for elliptical wing. So therefore CL equal to a naught into pi alpha minus CL divided by pi AR plus constant. So for a what we need to do is we need to calculate the lift curve slope only. So in order to calculate the lift curve slope, the formula is a equal to dCl divided by d alpha, dCl divided by d alpha. So while differentiating with this respect to alpha, we will get the equations like a equal to or dCl by d alpha equal to a equal to a naught divided by 1 plus a naught divided by pi AR. Okay. This is for elliptical wing, but for general wing we know this for a general wing the formula is this. So the a equal to a naught plus yeah, a naught divided by 1 plus a naught divided by pi AR into 1 plus sigma. Okay. 1 plus tau. Okay. So the tau
Sir, how did we get this, sir?
actually this is a big derivations only, so we no need that derivation part and all. Okay. There is a small difference in for finite lift distribution and also for sorry elliptical lift distribution and for general wing distributions, general finite wing distributions. Okay. For so for that purpose we have added this 1 plus tau. No need of this values and all. Only thing we need this values alone. Okay. This tau, the value of tau is 0.052 0. It will be range between 0.05 to 0. Sorry, to 0.25. Okay. it will be in this
Sir,
range.
what is tau here?
1 second, I will tell you. So it's a constant. I will tell you what and all this. So now just note down this value only. Okay. So for finite general wing, we have this formula, that's a naught divided by 1 plus a naught divided by pi ar into 1 plus tau. That 1 plus del we have for this asphalt efficiency factor, like we have this tau. I will explain you in the next class. Okay, just note down these things. But there is a two condition for this aspect ratio for infinite and finite wing. That is the alpha will be greater. Sorry, the alpha value will be extended for this finite wing, but for infinite wing it is very less. That we can see here from the slope itself. The slope will be slope for infinite wing is greater than that of finite wing. Okay, the slope of lift curve slope of finite wing is greater than that of infinite wing. Infinite wing is greater than that of finite wing. Okay, just note down this thing.
Sir, for what are you telling, sir? Is it for tau or?
No. I will. This is for this lift curve slope, because we are focusing on this lift curve
Sir,
slope.
because now the problem is we are learning all this theory in our BTech too. Can you please give a practical example so that we will understand better, and if we understand, we can do better?
Yes, this is simple thing only. Actually, for an infinite wing, that means for an aerofoil, the lift curve slope is more. Okay, we have high lift curve slope, but for a finite wing, there will be some change in the lift curve slope. That lift curve slope decreases. The value of lift curve slope will be very much less. Okay, for finite wing, that is the difference. That's what we want to learn from this aspect ratio part. Okay, because of this aspect ratio coming into picture, the lift curve slope value it reduces. That's the thing. For infinite wing, a naught will be more, but for finite wing, the lift curve slope, we are denoting the lift curve slope as a. It will be less than this a naught. Okay, it is less than this a naught. That's what. You understand?
Sir, I got it, sir. But I just want to know the derivations too. Like, how did we get one, like, how did we bring this to A naught by pi r and A naught by pi r 1 plus tau? How did we get the derivation? From where did we get? That's what I want to know, sir.
Actually, this is apart from this. They have given the values only. This 1 plus tau and all, it is simply Fourier functions only. Okay, coefficients only. So they have derived this Fourier coefficients only. After from that only, they are just calculating this 1 plus tau and all. Okay,
Okay, sir.
it is a constant value only. Okay, um, actually they have never mentioned anything for prescribed for that and all. Okay, so that's why they are given that for that constant, the value will be ranging between this 0.05 to 0.25. Okay, the main thing you want to focus here is there are two types of lift curve slope. One is for infinite wing, that means it is for, one is for airfoil. For airfoil we are denoting it as a naught, and for finite wing we are denoting it as a. Then from the graph itself we can easily understand that the lift curve slope for airfoil is more, but here it is very much less. That's why we get a slanting curve. Okay, when compared with the infinite wing. Okay, and no matter what, if there is no lift, then the alpha L zero lift angle of attack will be same for both infinite wing and finite wing. If there is no lift, that is if the lift is 0, CL is 0, then alpha L equal to 0, alpha L is Same for both finite and infinite wing. This is the condition you need to note.
Sir,
Okay.
your infinite wing means airfoil.
Yes, yes.
If the lift curve slope for the airfoil is greater than when it is combined together as a wing, the lift curve slope will be less.
Yes.
Is it like that, sir?
Yes, 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 correct.
Okay, sir.
Just note out. See, we need this condition. Mainly, what we need is we no need of derivative part and all. Derivation for some our research purpose and all. We need some derivations, and don't think for study or for examination and all. Derivative part we need. Somehow, if you are going to
Sir, what about for symmetrical airfoil?
same only. See, the lift curve slope values doesn't change with the different types of airfoils and all. Okay, it remains same. But when compared to the finite wing, that means if you are converting an airfoil into a wing means then the lift curve slope changes. Okay, that is because of the aspect ratio. Because we have aspect ratio here. If the aspect ratio increases here, automatically it is inversely. That means the lift curve slope is inversely proportional to the aspect ratio. So when it increases, automatically the lift curve slope increases. Sorry, it will decrease. Okay.
Considering it as an unsymmetrical wing for this graph, sir. If CL is equal to 0, how come alpha L will be equal to 0? That is for symmetrical wing only, no, sir. If CL is equal to 0, then alpha L will be equal to 0. For unsymmetrical wing, there will be some lift, no, sir.
For unsymmetrical wing only, we will get this alpha L be equal to this negative value. Okay. So they are calculating this for some unsymmetrical airfoil only. They are getting this for an infinite. That means for some airfoil, they are getting this alpha L equal to 0 at this point. Okay. No, for a wing also they are getting same value only because since it because same airfoil only we are using for wing also. Okay, it doesn't change when the lift is 0. When the lift increases only there will be some changes between. For if you are considering airfoil we will get some value. If you are considering some wing we will get some other value. That's why. Okay,
then for
there
both
is no lift
symmetrical
means
and
everything will be same.
unsymmetrical, if CL is equal to 0, then alpha L will also be equal to 0.
Once again repeat.
For both symmetrical and unsymmetrical wing, if CL is equal to 0, then alpha L will also be equal to 0. Sir. Is it like that?
No, not like that. Actually, for symmetrical wing, the alpha L equal to 0 is equal to 0 only. Okay, because alpha L will be at origin only. Then alpha L equal to 0, value of alpha L equal to 0 is equal to 0 only. Okay, but for unsymmetrical wing, alpha L equal to 0 has some value. That means some degree. That means it may be 2 degree or 3 degree or 1 degree and all. That's why we are plotting that alpha L equal to 0 at here. Okay, where my pointer points. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
same thing only. If there is no lift, then the whole wing will be behave like an airfoil only. Okay, we can think that it is a form of an airfoil only. So automatically, if, without any lift means it will have that particular airfoil has same zero lift angle of attack. Okay, you got my point?
Yes, sir. I got it.
Fine. That's what we are concluding here. So note this two formulas. Okay, this formulas and all. For elliptical wing, we have this formula. For a general platform wing, we have the formula like this. Okay.
Sir, what is the significance of phosphor efficiency factor?
Pi AR.
No, sir. I mean, what does that E value indicate? I mean, what will it conclude?
So pi AR, actually you are telling for like for induced drag, right?
I'm talking about E values or osmotic efficiency fault.
Osmotic value at, for different types of wing, it has some values. Okay, so because of that value also the induced drag is changing. That's what the its significance.
Okay,
That
sir.
also changes the value of this induced drag. What we got? Induced drag coefficient. Okay. Okay. Shall we move on to that sum? Because we finished this. Shall we move on? If
Yes,
you
sir. Yes,
have
sir.
any doubts, means ask. If I don't know, means also I will come back to you next time. Okay. Guys, if you have any doubt regarding these things and all, just ask your doubts so that I can help you. And okay, then only we may also understand what we are doing and all for this things for this sessions and all. Okay. See, here we have a problem like consider a wing of elliptical platform with its aspect ratio AR is equal to infinity. Find the lift curve slope. Its lift curve slope is so yeah, if a wing has an elliptical platform, here they are telling that the wing has a elliptical platform with its aspect ratio that is equal to infinity. Okay, what is the lift curve slope? Anyone? Do you guys able to find the answer for this?
Sir, if aspect ratio is infinity, then the wingspan should be 0, sir.
Okay, then what will be the answer for lift curve slope?
So 2 pi, sir.
2 pi. Okay. So suppose they have given values like some in the form of numbers, means what will be your answer?
The given a not value means that is the same.
Yes, same. Find the answer, because in gate and all they will twist your answers and all. They will give in the form of numbers, numerical values.
So anything 1 divided by infinity means it will become 0. No, sir.
Yes,
Then
correct.
1 plus 0, 1
Everything
plus
is
0 will
correct.
become
You
1.
have got your answer up to 99.9%, but the last 1.1% only I need. Your answers are correct only, but I want the values in the form of numerical numbers. I think. Answer is 2 pi only.
Yes.
But I want this value in the form of numbers.
6.28.
Yes, 6.28. Yes, now it is correct. See, once again, just think this. If there is if the aspect ratio is infinity, what you said is correct only. Then this wing will behave like an airfoil. Okay, this wing will behave like an airfoil. Then this lift curve slope will also behave like an airfoil. We know this lift curve slope for wing is that is equal to a. Okay, but for lift curve slope of airfoil is a naught. Okay, when this aspect ratio is equal to infinity, this a will be equal to a naught. Then the answer is, we know the lift curve slope for airfoil, that is equal to 2 pi. Then automatically the value of lift curve slope for this elliptical wing also, it will become 2 pi. Suppose they
Sir,
have
how
given
will we get 2 pi, sir?
Yes, we know the from a thin airfoil theory, automatically we know this lift curve slope for a airfoil is equal to 2 pi. We know whatever the airfoil may be, it will be the lift curve slope remains same only. Okay, got it? I think you have we have discussed this and all in our thin airfoil theory. Whatever we have seen,
Yes,
two
sir.
types
Yes,
of
sir.
airfoils.
I will look at it, sir. One second.
Yes, just look at it. There what we seen is for two types of airfoil we have seen the lift, that means thin airfoil theory, okay. For symmetrical wing, symmetrical airfoil and symmetrical airfoil. Both airfoils, the lift curve slope value remains same only. It doesn't change, okay. Depend upon airfoils and all. So when there is when the aspect ratio is infinity, then the wing will be considered as an airfoil, okay. If it is considered like an airfoil, automatically this it has a will be equal to that lift curve slope for this wing will be equal to the lift curve slope for airfoil. So automatically we know a equal to a naught. Then the value will be 2 pi. So 2 into 3.14, we will get the value like 6.28. The answer is correct. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So can you able to solve this sum? We have another one sum also. We need to solve this. Just note down this sum. Just note this sum. Note this problem. An untwisted wing of elliptical planform and aspect ratio 6. So aspect ratio is 6. Consists of a thin symmetrical airfoil sections. The coefficient of lift is at 10-degree angle of attack. So they have given angle of attack alpha, aspect ratio AR is given. Then elliptical wing, they have given the condition like elliptical wing. What we need to find is CL. So anybody know the formula for CL for elliptical wing? Anyone know the formula for CL?
It gives alpha on this term.
Okay, just note down the answers and all. Try to solve this. We can solve another sum because previous two sections also we didn't solve that sum. Okay, we can move on to the sum. Just note down this question and we can solve it later. Okay, you need to solve it and come with answers for this problem. Problem 4. Okay, have you noted?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Fine. Yes. So this is the problem what I have given for you as an assignment. So what is your doubt in this problem, or shall we continue, or this sum and all we need to calculate it based upon our derivative part only. Okay, so they have given here the mean camber line for this particular airfoil, and this particular airfoil the mean camber line is Z by C equal to 0.2 values, because see when designing some airfoil and all, or when drawing some plotting some airfoils, they will consider two parts. One is the front part and the back rearward part. Okay, so in the front portion up to 0 to this 0.4, the shape of the mean camber line is like this. The equation behave like this. Okay, the rearward parts, the backward parts will behave like this. That is from 0.4 to 1. Okay, this is card, the position of the card. Okay, 0 to 0.4, from 0.4 to 1. So this camber line behaves like this equation, and remaining parts it behaves like this equation. Okay, so with this both equation we need to calculate the what and all. If we are calculating lift means, then if you want to by using these two equations we need to calculate the lift, or we need to calculate the alpha L equal to 0 means with this two equation only we need to calculate it. Okay, so shall we start, or up to what you have solved?
dz by dx, sir.
Okay, dz by dx. Just tell me dz by dx. dz by dx.
Sir, I mean, I haven't noted the value, but I have solved another paper.
Okay, fine. Just tell me by seeing this.
Oh, 1 minute, sir. I'll do it and I'll tell you.
Okay, see here, alpha L equal to 0. Formula for alpha L equal to 0 is, that is equal to minus 1 by pi integral of 0 to pi dz by dx into cos theta naught minus 1, or cos theta minus 1 into d theta. This cos theta naught, or we can say it as cos theta minus 1 into d theta. Okay, so this is the equation for finding the alpha L equal to 0. So first what we need to do is, if you know the value of this dz by dx, we can proceed this sum. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to find the dz by dx. Okay, so now shall we start? So for finding this, we have two equations, z by c for frontmost part, and for z by c for rearward parts. Okay, so first by solving this, we know 0 point, differentiate this z with respect to x, so we will get 0.25 into 0.8. By differentiating it, we will get 0.8 minus 2 into x by c. This is for 2 into x by c. This is for this equation. So the second one, dz by dx equal to 0.111 into 0.2. If you are differentiating it, it will become 0. So therefore 0.8, second term 0.8, this 0.8 minus 2 into x by c. Okay, 2 into x by c, but the limit is changes, the equation same only, but the limit is changing, because this is from 0 to 0 less than or equal to x by c less than or equal to 0.4. From second equation, 0.4 less than or equal to x by c less than or equal to 1. Okay, so first we need to convert this x by c into theta, because we are solving this in the form of theta only, so we need some transformation. We all know x equal to c by 2 into 1 minus cos theta, 1 minus cos theta, so that
Sir, I didn't understand this part. X is equal to c by 2 into 1 minus cos.
actually this and all we have taken from our derivative part. Okay, so here we can see this.
Sir, have you shared these PPTs which you have done for the past 4-5 lectures?
Yes, I have already shared this PPT.
Where did you share it, sir? Sir, actually in the portal it is not uploaded.
Okay, I will ask Aishwarya Dhara ma'am. Actually, I have sent the PPT to Aishwarya Dhara ma'am. She will send it to you. See here, you can see here, x equal to c by 2 into 1 minus cos theta naught. Okay, in order to transform this equation from z by c or x to theta, we need to do this transformation. for x and psi they have given some values. Okay, one is for x, they have given x equal to c by 2 into 1 minus cos theta naught, or theta naught, or we can say theta. Okay, so from this x by c we can calculate this x by c, that is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. Okay, 1 minus cos theta. We know this x by c is limit is 0 to 0.4. Okay, so first we can take this 0. So first, by substituting here x by c equal to 0, that is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. Okay, 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos 1 minus cos theta. Okay, so this 2 when cross multiplication it will become 0. So 1 minus cos theta equal to 0. So cos theta equal to cos theta will become what? While taking this 1 to right
Sir,
hand side,
theta will become 0 or 360, sir.
so theta will become 0. Okay, theta will be 0 for this limit x by z equal to, when we are transforming we will get 0. So 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to, then we need to find the limit for value for this 4. Okay, 0.4. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to do the same thing for this 0.4. Same way, 0.4 equal to 1 by 2 into 1 minus, see actually one more thing, this for theta we need to convert that into radian. Okay, now it is no problem, so we can but for 0.4 and all we need to convert that. Okay, so 1 minus cos theta, same way calculate it and find the value for theta. First calculate the value for theta. Calculator.
Sir, cos inverse of 1 by 5, sir. Theta.
Cos what?
Cos inverse of 1 by 5.
1 by 5. Just do it and find the answer.
So 1.3, sir.
1.3. Theta equal to 1.3 after converting to radian, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So you will get some value for this theta in forms of degree. Convert that into radian, we will get an answer like 1.3. Okay, so here 1.3. Same way 1.3 less than or equal to theta and less than or equal to, for then for 1 we need to calculate it. Okay, just calculate that also so that we can proceed.
Sir, theta equal to pi, sir. In case of 1.
In case of 1 we get the value of theta is pi. Okay, so
Ha.
the limit will be in a thin airfoil theory also we have, this is the equation for thin airfoil theory. Okay, so we have the limit for this equations like 0 to c, that means 0 to some chord length. Okay, we will convert this x minus psi value or the psi and all in the, we will transform it in the form of theta and we will find the limit will be, or the chord will be in the chord will be between 0 to pi. Here also they have given like 0 to 1. From this they have given this equation in the form of 0 to, in the limit between, that means x by c between 0 to 1. Okay, While transforming in the form of theta, we found that the limit is between 0 to pi. The card will be lying in between 0 to pi. Okay. So now we can proceed to this equation. Proceed to the problem. Okay. This is the initial way to solve this problem. So after finding the value like the limit for 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 1.3, then 1.3 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to pi. Okay, so up to this we finished. Then what we need to do is we need to substitute these values and substitute this equation in alpha L equal to value. Okay, so we know alpha L equal to 0 equal to minus 1 by pi integral of, first we have this, so minus 1 by pi integral of 0 to 1.3, 0 to 1.3, and we need to substitute this equation, first equation. Okay, so 0.25 into 0.8 minus 2 into x by c, 2 into this x by c also we need to change that into theta. Okay, so we know x equal to c by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. So x by c equal to what? We can substitute here in the for this x by c we can substitute like 1 by 2 into 1 minus cos theta. Okay, 1 minus cos theta for this, and we can substitute this term here, cos theta minus 1 into d theta. Okay, plus for second equation. Okay, for this equation. So now you can able to solve the sum. Do you guys understand how to solve?
Yes, sir.
Yes, but there will be some limitations to, or it will move to some part and it will stay there. Okay, this problem. So that I will give you some hints about the trigonometric functions and all. So the integral of cos theta d theta equal to, we know this sin theta. Then integral of cos square theta d theta, that is equal to 1 by 2 sin theta cos theta plus 1 by 2 into theta. Okay, sin theta cos theta plus 1 by 2 into theta. Okay, so why I am asking you to solve this means no need for answers and all. This is not a gate sum to find the answers and all, but you should know how to convert this or how to transform this x by c values into theta, how to implement or insert this equation, that means mean camber line equations and all. They won't ask like this type and all, but they may ask like find the value of theta value in the, they can give some values for x by c and ask us to find the value for theta. Okay, so if in such conditions you need to apply this and you can find the answers. Okay, so this is the clue, so that after substituting all those equations you will get like you have some problems like integral of cos square theta d theta and all. For integral of cos square theta d theta and all, just use this and you can solve. Okay, so we will get 1 by 2
Sir,
sin
but
theta cos theta. Yes.
sir, but integral of cos square theta, that how did we get sin theta? Is it 2 cos theta cos 2 theta minus 1?
No.
That's how you solved it? Cos square theta. 2 cos square theta minus 1 is cos 2 theta.
2 cos square theta. Yes.
Minus
that's
1 is cos 2 theta.
For
Okay,
cos
sir.
square theta and all, we can just away we can say 1 minus sin square theta. Once again it will come from with that sin square theta only. So for simplification only they have given this values and all. Just use this thing. Then integral of cos cube theta d theta also they have given on values. Okay, this is for this types of sums and all. there will be problems in this cos cube data, sin cube data, sin square data and all. So for your simplifications, for our simplification, just remember this values and all. Okay, if you remember this values, you can easily solve 1 by 3. So actually in aerodynamics and all, for this incompressible flow, maximum we will be calculating like this only. Trigonometric functions will come into picture. So just a way you just note this thing: cos a minus cos b, sin a minus sin b, cos square theta, sin square theta, sin 2 theta. These things and all just remember, so that it will be helpful for you. Okay, so whether you can solve this sum now. Up to this part only it is difficult for you. Whatever, if you have some other formulas means also, you can just away substitute that formula also. What we need is, we need to simplify these things and substitute the value for that is a theta value, and we need to find the answers. Okay, that is here they are, what they are given is, they have straight away given the integral for cos square theta value, cos square theta d theta. They have straight away given the values. Okay,
Okay, sir. Got it.
okay, so just try to solve it. Okay, that's all.
Sir, please share the PPTs as well as the videos in separate groups, sir, because we are unable to access it. So,
Okay, in this group itself, now itself I can share it. Okay, no
ah,
problem.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. Just try to solve this and find with some answers. Okay, it will be between some degrees, because alpha L will be L equal to it will be a negative value only. You won't get positive values and all. It will be a negative value for cambered airfoils and all. Alpha L equal to 0 will be some negative values only. Okay. And don't think it will come like 13 degree, 14 degree and all. It will be like minus 1 degree, minus 2 degree, like that only you will get the answers. Okay, or minus 0.5 degree, likewise only you will get the answers. So find it. Okay, so with this we have concluded the incompressible flow part. So in our next class and all, we can start with the compressible flow parts. Okay, how shock will be formed, that part only will be focusing. So guys, you have any doubt, you can message me also, or else you can ask here. Okay, thank you. We can conclude here. We can start our next class. We can start this compressible flow for aerodynamics. Okay, you can leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.